I'm going to his office thinking that I'm going to go meet with, right? Because he said Indian American. I am running for the Senate. People always ask me, well, what about high-speed rail? I mean, yesterday I was stuck on the 405. I missed receiving my award. And I would have to wait sometimes 45 minutes. Good morning. I am a doer. It is never easy.
And now, an update from the John and Ken Loretta Sanchez desk. Here's John and Ken.
It never fails to entertain.
The last one always gets me. I don't know why.
Yeah, you don't expect it.
It's just so well timed.
It's part of our introduction.
KFI, AM 640, more stimulating talk radio.
Oh.
And, one of the great mysteries of life is why everyone on the planet doesn't see her as absurd and ridiculous. I don't understand how anyone takes her seriously.
Well, then this is not going to help.
No,
because we are here to tell you, among other things, about Loretta Sanchez. Since she announced in mid-May she's running for Barbara Boxer's seat, somehow she's raised $13,000 a day. Can you do that?
No, I can't.
I know.
You guys sending it in?
The question remains, who is giving her money? She raised $618,000 total in her first 6 weeks.
Do we have names?
As a U.S. Senate candidate.
Wait a second. This is all.
As a matter of fact, $618,421 to be exact.
She's raised $618,000.
Yes. And she transferred $500,000 from her account where she was going to run for re-election for the House. So that bolsters her over $1 million in the bank for her U.S. Senate campaign.
Now, she could still run for the House, right?
There's a drop-dead date, and I think it's coming up in March, because the primary is in June. As I recall, by March, she has to one or the other.
So if she's getting smothered in the polls, she could just drop out and switch back to a congressional race.
That is exactly what some believe she might do if she doesn't like the way this looks.
Although she might end up with some competition along the way.
Because if she plays this out, she could finish second and then be in the November runoff against Kamala Harris. But if she loses there, she's not in the Senate, she's not in the House, she's out.
That gives her the right to get crushed twice.
Right.
She could get crushed in June, get second place and then get crushed all over again with the same number practically.
Probably true.
So, now this is all public record, right? When you make political contributions. I want the names of the people.
All right, you can have Ray look it up.
Ray, why don't you see if you could find the names and the amount, and maybe we could contact some of these people and
what
see.
Do you mean contact some of these people?
Try
to get a comment?
Talk to them on the air. It's like, why would you do this?
Why did you give to a bubblehead?
No, I mean, really, she's so ridiculous. Like, why? It's not a partisan political thing.
I would imagine. I
don't want to talk to people who donate.
Remember, she's 10 terms in Congress. It's probably the same people who are always given to her.
Well, who are they? Why do they do this? I mean, I'm not.
These are far-reaching questions.
I'm not going to interested in who's donated to Kamala Harris. I mean, I don't disagree. I disagree with most of her actions and views, but she's a credible candidate. I don't get this.
She doesn't present herself as a fool.
No, she's just a complete buffoon, and I don't understand who writes the check for that. I mean, there's so many charities begging for money who want to try to find cures for terrible diseases and terrible childhood afflictions, and there's $618,000 available for Loretta Sanchez to be a senator. Something's wrong in the world.
Now, on the other side of this, though, Kamala Harris raised a lot more. $2.9 million Harris has collected for the race. She has that much cash on hand. She does have $240,000 in unpaid bills. However, Kamala Harris has spent $900,000 in these 3 months. You know how much Sanchez has spent in these last 3 months on this? $44,000.
$44,000?
What did she do with $44,000?
That's probably a lot of food.
Harris spent money covering consultant fees and travel costs because she's been going all over the country fundraising. How Sanchez spent the $44,000, I'm not sure. Is that a trip to Bakersfield? What is that?
Consultants' fees. Oh, those parasites.
Oh, yeah, no, they'll get you.
Travel costs for intensive fundraising. So she's raising money so she could travel around to raise money.
That's what Harris is doing, right?
Yeah, but nobody. Is that? That's what.
If you're reading the LA
Harris
Times, that's Harris.
Oh, they wrote it's confusing.
Right. So it says here most of the money Harris has spent is covering consultant fees and travel costs. It doesn't say anything about what
is Sanchez spending any money?
All it says here is a quote from Sanchez. It's been a very hectic 45 days, but so far it's been a tremendous fundraising potential.
Well, no, it hasn't.
Old and new friends have been very generous, she said.
Well, no, they haven't. You're losing 3-1 when it comes to money.
Yeah, she is. Well,
3-1.
She's not as well. Well, you could argue she's actually better known than Harris, because Harris has just been in politics statewide for a couple of years. She was a San Francisco politician for a long time.
Right, but
Harris...
I just don't understand this.
No, she has one. I forgot. She did win twice for Attorney General. So she's been around 6 years, 5 years.
So she has a fundraising machine.
Although it says here, polls suggest she's not well known outside the Bay Area.
It's not gonna matter if it's only her and Loretta Sanchez.
No,
I mean she'll just get default votes. There's too much cattle who just reflexively vote for the same party over and over again. It doesn't matter what turd it is floating in the bowl.
And to show you where Sanchez spends her time, according to the Sacramento Bee in a recent story, she was fundraising at a Taylor Swift concert in Washington. I don't know how that happens, but she wasn't the only one there fundraising. Apparently, it was also another congressman.
Does Taylor Swift know she's raising money for Loretta Sanchez?
2 other congressmen from California, Eric Swalwell, and Doris Matsui, were also holding fundraisers at the show. I've never heard of that. Yeah, you go to a concert and there's like a little booth there trying to give money to Loretta Sanchez. I guess that's what happens.
I don't know. I never heard of this either.
Yeah.
I mean, is this a formal thing or they just rent space?
I think it's just rented space out in front of the concert venue.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, and they give them pins and crap and pens and... Hey, they put a bunch of young people out there that are on the campaign trail.
They're trying to capture that audience.
They set up a tent and a card table.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Sanchez's campaign reports that she had a reception. Oh, at Nationals Park, John. That's the baseball stadium, right?
Yeah.
It was sold out, but it's 20 people. At $1,000 each.
Wow. They sold out the whole park, huh? Looks like they sold out a row.
I guess during a baseball game, they probably had like a, what do you call it? A suite, maybe?
They sold out.
There's about 20 people getting a suite?
That's what it is. They sold out a suite.
Yeah. That's what.
Yeah. Our fundraiser sold out. Yep. All 20 seats. Went just like that. Why do they do this? I mean, who do they think they're kidding here?
I don't know. I thought maybe Sanchez was a Taylor Swift fan since she's known to break out and dance. Right? There was that video.
No,
remember the Carly Rae Jepsen song?
They have to whore themselves out to every demo.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Call Me Maybe. She made like a little video out of it. Do you guys remember?
Don't put that back in my head.
She and her staffers were
that
dancing.
That was so
and
creepy
lip-syncing.
too, because of all the the rumors that have been going around about her and being friendly with her staffers.
Yeah, that's. I wiped that memory out.
Yeah,
I don't want that
visual.
one back. That's awful. It's disgusting.
All right, we do have news about another congressperson from California when we come back, and it's expected, but it's still horrific to hear. Nancy Pelosi has decided, even with the death of Kate Steinle, sanctuary cities are okay by me. There should be no change to anything. We'll play that for you and talk about it.
What a dreadful, evil person. What a horrible woman. We'll talk about it when we come back. It's the John and Ken Show, and Shannon is news.